over the last 2 years, I've made £11,500 in profit from a £1,500 baseline, 42% on the money invested.
Brilliant.
Over only 4 months actually, that one. How do I feel? I'm over the moon.
As a police officer facing daily risks in London, Tom Carr decided to turn to investing as a route to safely grow his wealth. In just 2 years, Tom has grown his £1,500 account into over £51,000.
My job's quite stressful and I needed a way to earn money passively in the background and to build wealth for my future. And with that comes the freedom to do whatever you wish. If you want to do a certain job that pays you 6 figures, great. If you want to pay a minimum wage job, trading and investing, if you set it up correctly over your life, will support you in your ability to do that. I use the PCA strategy. I accumulate crypto using a mixture of the dreams, the goals, the things that I want in my future. They're visible to me now. They're not just a pipe dream. They're more than that. I can see on my charts that if that line keeps going up, just as it has been doing, I'll get there. But you have to actively, using your mindset, distribute your money and be disciplined about putting your money into stocks, putting your money into crypto, putting your money into your skiing holiday, putting your money into fitness, whatever it is that's important to you, charity, etc. It makes such a difference to know that if I wanted to, I could quit my job today and spend the next 2 years doing nothing.
Okay, so Tom, why trading and investing?
So I work a full-time job, maybe 60 hours a week with a bit of overtime, and I needed a way to earn money passively in the background and to build wealth for my future.
When you say need, why need?
So my job's quite stressful. It's not something I want to be doing in my 60s, which is what they expect me to do. It's quite negative for me on an emotional level sometimes, and also the people around me, my family and friends. Because of that, I need to find a way not to have to rely on this job in 20 years' time.
Nice. And so that's why you chose trading and investing. Do you think that that's what trading and investing can give you?
It can give you the freedom of choice because it's going to create potentially wealth, cash flow, and with that comes the freedom to do whatever you wish. And if that is to go to work, you can go to work. Brilliant. If you want to do a certain job that pays you 6 figures, great. If you want to pay a minimum wage job, trading and investing, if you set it up correctly over your life, will support you in your ability to do that.
Okay, I look forward to hearing about how you did that. But before you found success with investing, what was your financial situation?
So I spent my life working hard, earning money, but spending it. I wasn't a saver. I didn't really know how to. Seems simple, doesn't it? Get your money, put it in a bank. It's not that simple because it's in the bank and you think, I'm going skiing. I want that new car, whatever it is. So I spent my money. You spent all of it? So I would pay for my expenses and spend my money. I wouldn't save any of it really. So I never built up my net worth, so to speak. I never really accumulated a bank account with a load of zeros in it. I never did any of that. So I got to my mid-30s and realized that asset-wise, I had nothing.
So was it just normal? I guess it is for most people, right? The money comes in, well, what's the money there for? It's to spend. It's normal, right?
Yeah. Until you learn that you can do something with that money that can give you the freedoms we talked about, that can give you financial stability in the future, you don't really see the incentive to save or to invest, which comes off the back of it.
Well, brilliant. Thank you. Okay, so Tom, let's fast forward to today. Can you give us a quick overview of your total profits, which strategies you used, and how do you feel about having achieved these incredible returns?
Yeah, okay. So in total, over the last 2 years, I've made £11,500 in profit from a £1,500 baseline, I use the VCA strategy. I use the PCA strategy. I accumulate crypto using a mixture of the CCA strategy, the VCA strategy, the PCA strategy. You see what I'm doing here? And also trading skills that I've learned from Buffalo and supply and demand strategies. How do I feel? I'm over the moon. The dreams, the goals, the things that I want in my future, they're visible to me now. They're not just a pipe dream. They're more than that. I can see on my charts that if that line keeps going up, just as it has been doing, I'll get there. The journey itself is fantastic. I'm enjoying that. And ultimately, what I want in life, I can achieve. So there was 2 years of growth there. The first year was expensive learning.
Okay.
Without instruction.
Tell us about that.
The first year?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in my search for wealth, I came across a property education company. Sounded great. Went and I paid their fees and I learned some bits and bobs. The biggest thing worked for me. Granted, that course wanted an astronomical amount of money to carry on working with them.
Okay.
I had not, it was in the tens and tens of thousands of pounds, and I had £1,500, as you know.
Yeah.
So I spent that year dabbling. Oh, this looks good. Oh, I'll buy that. Oh, this sounds fine. Oh, that's crashed. It's got to go back up. What happened? Chipped away, never really saw any progress, put some more money in, chipped away, never really saw any progress until I came across a YouTube video with this space on it.
Okay. Didn't put you off now?
I was a long way away from the screen, so
Charming. Okay, so tell us about that then. So, tell us about that, but also about the strategies that you used and how you got the success.
So with Investment Mastery, we're at the beginner level taught some basic strategies. VCA is one, so that's a good start for one. That's where you will take a certain amount of money, a portion of a pot of money that you'll allocate to that strategy, and invest it in single companies that have good fundamentals, that you don't believe will go to zero, and that you can ideally see some momentum with the price. So the way it works is that as the price comes down, you'll invest a certain amount, and then if it comes down another 10%, you'll invest a little bit more, and so on, until the whole price comes back up to usually around 20%, but whatever you think is a normal retracement of the price. And then you can start putting in what's called a stop loss, which will it will then guarantee, more or less, that if the price comes down again, you will come out at your profit.
Yeah, you've locked it in, kind of.
You lock it in.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
But it can carry on going up. That's the key, right?
Because you don't just sell. You put in the stop loss and you let your profits run.
Did you ever have one that really kept running?
A few. Over the last couple of years, I've had some really good VCAs.
Go on, like what?
So I had DraftKings. That was one.
What kind of percentage returns did you get?
So that one came back at 42% on the money invested.
Brilliant.
Over only 4 months, actually, that one.
So sometimes it can go quite fast, and sometimes,
That's right.
Do you have any control of how fast it goes?
Only if you want to be more or less risky with how close your stop loss is. But if you stick to the strategy, actually it's automated.
That's brilliant. Do you like the strategy?
It's wonderful. Yep, and it makes up for 1/5 of my portfolio because of it.
Brilliant. How long does it take you on a daily basis?
The VCA strategy?
Yeah.
Nothing. I looked this morning, because I've got my charts set up with different coloured lines in different places. I can look at a chart within 3 seconds, I can see if I need to do anything. And if I need to do something, all right, then I'll add 5 minutes to how long it's going to take me to do something. And doing something means buying more, moving a stop loss, celebrating and taking profit. Day to day, it's nothing at all.
Okay, great. What other strategies do you use?
So I use a very simple strategy, PCA. So a fifth of my portfolio is...
Do you use PCA, do you?
I do.
Interesting. Why do you use that? Go on, explain that quickly.
Okay, so my PCA strategy is, so this is price cost averaging, or also known as dollar cost averaging. I wanted a fire and forget, no thought about it, way of just tracking the market so I can see it myself in my earnings, let's say. Mm-hmm. So I built a small pie with slices in it, and it's mostly the S&P 500. It's got some FTSE 100.
So is this an ETF that you're getting into?
So this is a number of ETFs, yeah.
Okay.
All within one pie.
Oh.
It's got some gold in there, or an ETF that tracks the price of gold, and a very thin sliver.
Does it move a lot, though?
So over the last 2 years, my PCA pie is up about 16%.
Okay.
So I think that's on par with the average to the market.
Yeah.
But the appeal for that, for me, is that it was fire and forget. Every month on payday, what I do is that I get my paycheck, I take my expenses out. And this is something you taught me, actually, with pots. I take my expenses out, I look at what I've got left, and I'll split that into pots. And they'll get allocated to all the different strategies. I'll take 5% of my income, that'll go in the pie. Easy, because it's gone.
It's brilliant.
Done. Don't have to do anything, and I know that it's in there and it's compounding and it's profitable.
Do you mind if I say this? Like, because now, I agree at the beginning, it's like kind of set and forget, but now that you know what you're doing, do you think that you could maybe spend, 2 minutes a month just looking to see whether it's fallen and just allocate a little bit more? Do you see what I mean? It's like an advanced PCA.
Okay, so I have added extra elements to this.
Aha!
Yes.
As
I've developed, especially in the last year, as I've learned about fundamentals, I've started to listen to economics, looking at earnings reports, etc. I have added other things, such as, so imagine PCA and overlaying the VCA so that you're in fact buying more as it gets lower.
Brilliant.
In each. So
we call that our advanced PCA.
There we go.
You've just basically come up with it.
Right, there we go.
Yeah.
So, but then
makes sense, right?
It does, yeah, and it's developed off your teachings, so it makes perfect sense that it should lead to that.
I love that. Okay, so do you do any other strategies?
Yeah, so there's 3 more strategies in my portfolio.
Do you know, it's so funny. You've been doing this for 2 years. Can you imagine, like 2 years ago when you first started, you'd be talking about, oh yeah, and I listen to economics, and as it falls, I add a little bit more.
No, I really wouldn't have, because without a strategy, you're blindly just stumbling around in the dark, buying and selling, and because of mind frame, you're often selling at the top. Buying at the top and selling at the bottom. You're doing it the wrong way around.
And you wonder what's going on. Why is this not working?
Why is it red in the corner? Why is there a big negative number? But the truth of the matter is you need to flip yourself around. And
it's actually quite simple when you learn how, right?
It is. And one thing I've noticed is that, say at work, I speak to my colleagues about crypto, which is one of my strategies.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, Tom, how's your crypto doing? Bitcoin crashed, didn't it? And I'm like, did it? Well, as it crashed, I bought more. I got excited. I bought more and I bought more. And you know what? In the last year, crypto's up over 100%. Mm. And they'll look at me like, oh?
It's such a common thing what you just said, right? So I have people who literally, when it crashes, they're like texting me and going, oh no, it's crashed and whatever. And you go, but that's a good thing. It's good. And by the way, when they say crash, it's not a real crash, right?
No.
It's brilliant. So, they say that the stock market and all of these markets is just about transferring wealth from the people who don't know what they're doing to the people that know what they're doing, which traditionally has been Wall Street. Mm. But now because of cryptos, Wall Street, well, now they are involved because of this ETF announcement, right? Which is good for us, right? Yeah. But before that, this is for us to make a lot of money in, and it'll continue to do so. So you do cryptos as well. So tell us about the crypto strategy. Okay. Which one do you use?
So going back to my idea of taking my 5% of my income, my pots for crypto every month, that goes into the crypto account, of which I'll use my broker to buy an assortment of coins. Because of like a risk management basis, a third of that will go into Bitcoin, a third of it will go into Ethereum, and a third will get split between several other ones.
Okay.
So that I'm not so exposed to large fluctuations in price of the more risky ones.
So you would have done quite well then.
So I've had some good results. I mean, my crypto account, so it used to account for a fifth of my total portfolio. It's now close to 25%. And some coins, say like Solana, in the last few months, I've skimmed off profits, milking the cow, so to speak. That's the one.
That's the one.
I'm not going to move for you.
No? We'll get you there.
We'll see.
Early days.
Yeah, get me a whiskey. Milking the profits. I've taken profits at 50%, 100%, 150%, 200%, 250, and now 300% on my average price.
So you're milking the cow?
That's it. Not yet.
Okay.
Too early. Good try.
So you're taking it. You're kind of taking that profit, and what are you doing with the profit?
So what I'm doing with it is that I'm seeing that these are high. I'm taking it out and I'm reinvesting it into the ones that are low. Yeah. It's cycling the money. It's essentially buy low, sell high, which everybody knows, but very, very few people can actually do. So all in all, that crypto account is now 68-ish% up.
Brilliant. 68%. Would you have ever thought that you could make 68%? Like before hearing about what I say and everything, I mean, just you're a normal person, you don't know much about the stock market, and somebody goes, I could teach you how to make 68%. Would you have thought that you could do that?
Well, you'd think they were joking, wouldn't you? Because you'd look at your bank account and you'd go, I get 4% APR. And that's now.
And that's now.
2 years ago, you were getting 0.75%, something rubbish. That's right. Yeah. Well, add to this, like I started investing in crypto at the height of crypto. It was $66,000 a Bitcoin when I got in.
Right.
And I was buying.
And you've made money.
All the way down.
And you've made money.
And I'm 68% in profit, even though I bought from the very peak.
Now probably people watching this don't really get that, but it's because of the strategy. Absolutely fantastic. And just imagine the people that got in a little bit later, a little bit early, like when the price was a little bit lower down, because it went to 15,000.
It really dipped. And lovely to get in at that.
That's a correction. Yeah. Brilliant. Love it. Absolutely fantastic. Let's talk about goals, right? Because it's easy to lose focus if you don't have goals. Do you set goals, and how do you do it? Do you have a goal?
I've got a number of goals. I have a dream, long term, to be able to create a property company, that will create cash flow, that will support my living, and I'll be able to have put my kids onto the directorship of, and will pass it on to them as well. This is my longest term goal. The idea being that if my kids want to be painters and want to be a musician, they won't have to worry about money.
Right.
So it's a long term goal. Well, that one is anyway. And part of it is going to be funded by my investments.
But they can still do the painting and stuff and still invest in stocks once a month when it comes down, no?
Of course they can. Yeah. And I'll teach them to do it. That's the other part of this, is that all this learning I will pass on to my kids.
It's the learning, right? Not the money.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. I was fortunate. My parents, brilliant people, taught me great ethics and values in life, taught me to work hard, but they didn't know anything about investing. And so they never taught me how to invest. I had to discover that for myself.
Yeah.
So I think they laid really good groundwork, but if I can add on to that another layer that will solidify them from a wealthy perspective as well, wonderful. That's exactly what I want for my kids in the future.
Yeah. Brilliant goals. Love it. Vision. Amazing. Okay. Let's talk about mindset. Have you ever heard this? They say 80% of success is mindset. Have you heard that anywhere?
I've heard those numbers.
I hope so, because I repeat it 10 million.
along with a bunch of other.
I got it from Tony Robbins. Some of our people think it's 90%. It's so important. So how have you used mindset? Is it important?
Okay, so I'll return this to you with my favorite quote.
Okay.
It comes from Henry Ford, famous industrialist, and I'll get it wrong probably, but I'll try it anyway.
This is your version.
Okay, paraphrase.
Yes.
Henry Ford said that if you believe you can, or you believe you can't, you're probably right.
Yeah.
And that's very real to me.
Yeah, absolutely. But how do you... So you obviously believe, and you've done it, so now you believe even more. Does that now mean that your goals are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, or...?
My goals are slowly progressing. I think when I started this, my goals were probably along the lines of, let's get some money for that skiing holiday.
Okay. So that was the mindset?
At first, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You had the money, you spent it, but that's what everybody else does it as well, right? So it's your environment kind of says, well, that's okay because everyone else does it, right?
That's right.
So now you're in a different environment. So how has your mindset shifted? And if so, how?
So it's changed a lot from a discipline perspective. Money was a tool for pleasure purely before, and now it's a tool for growth for myself and for hopefully the people around me. One of the things that you taught me was that when you get your money, make sure that you still enjoy it. And like you said, take a pot of money for fun. Have that there. That's so back to what on payday, 5% into the fun pot.
But
I spend that every month, and there's enough there.
So that's great, because I didn't want anybody thinking, oh, so now it's all about the money. So you actually are still doing things. Are you still going on holidays?
I'm going skiing next month.
And there you go.
And I saved up with a pot. Simple as that. But you have to actively, using your mindset, distribute your money and be disciplined about putting your money into stocks, putting your money into crypto, putting your money into your skiing holiday, putting your money into fitness, whatever it is that's important to you, charity, etc.
But once you've done it, is it discipline any longer, or is it just a habit? It's not like, oh, now I have to. Maybe at the beginning it's like, oh, but then after a while, like brushing teeth, you don't go, oh, I have to brush my teeth today. Does it become more of a, yeah, it's just what I do?
I'll tell you what it becomes. It becomes exciting.
That's even better.
Yeah. Payday comes round. I'm not excited because I can pay off the bills because I've already sorted that now. I've already allocated that money. I'm excited that I get to put another 5% into crypto. I get to put another 5% in my continuous personal development fund.
Yeah.
Which will pay for more training and more learning. I'm excited that I get to put 5% here, there, and everywhere. So is it discipline? I guess it was.
Yeah.
Is it now exciting? It certainly is.
Brilliant.
Paydays. I love payday.
Yeah.
Because not only do I do all that, I get to put my numbers into my spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And I get to see how good the last month was. Or bad, depending on what's going on in the world. But I can see. And I've developed this spreadsheet using the trading diaries that I was given originally from Investment Mastery. And with that, I can now chart exactly what my net worth is, and I can see it growing. I can chart how successful each strategy is, and I can see them doing better or worse in different times.
Is that something you've added on?
Yeah. I've expanded the spreadsheet to be like.
Can you send us a copy of that?
Certainly, yeah.
I'd love to be able to see if there's something we can share with the others as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, thanks.
Take out some of my personal figures on it, perhaps. Although that's all going to be out in the open now anyway. So who cares? But yeah, with that, talking about excitement, when you put in your figures on there and then you flick back to the chart page, you're like, I'm doing it.
I love that. So you really feel that there's been a real, because what I'm hearing now is growth. I'm hearing growth in all areas. Not just financially, in all areas. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. And the security of all of this takes such a load off.
Yeah.
Like, it makes such a difference to know that if I wanted to, I could quit my job today and spend the next 2 years doing nothing.
Yeah.
I've got enough money.
If you had to. But I don't want you to do that. I want you to have 2 streams of income minimum.
Well, this is it, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
That's
5?
brilliant.
We aim for?
Eventually, that's what we're going to go for. So how did you handle, though, the ups and downs? 'Cause I'm sure, because this all sounds brilliant, but I'm sure it wasn't all, what do they say? Swings around, no, not swings around,
Roses.
Roses,
Like
yeah.
roses.
So how did you handle the ups and downs? You must have had some downs. It wasn't just...
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest downs came with the initial watching of everything going down. Before the mindset clicked into place. This was like the first hurdle, let's say.
Yeah, how come you didn't give up at that stage?
It was discipline.
Mm-hmm.
And it was investment mastery, particularly Keith, hammering home in the videos that the Zooms, the webinars that I attended, that just keep sticking at it, keep doing it, and you'll reap the rewards later.
Yeah. You must have had some belief or faith in something, either yourself or the strategies or something. Did you back test it? Did you look at charts before, what Bitcoin has done before? Because, most people would have given up.
If you look back on the charts, you can see what's happened. You
Exactly.
can see since they were originally recorded, and charts go up, they go down, and they go up, and they go down, and they go up, and they go down, and they've done it for decades. And ultimately, think about it. In this world, there's more and more money being made all the time. Businesses are growing. There's more and more people. There's more money out there. All of this should grow. That's how the world works.
Mm-hmm.
It does. It grows. And if you just want to get in there and be part of that growth,
just ride the wave. I think I never looked at it that way, but you're right, because there's more and more people. So there has to be more and more money. There have to be more and more jobs. There has to be more and more prosperity. There has to be, technology, etc. and so forth. Amazing. Okay, I love that. Absolutely fantastic. So why do you think that ongoing learning is so important? Because you said, now you do this, now you do that, and I'm seeing growth in learning as well. First of all, do you think it's important, and if so, why?
It is important. This is investment mastery. It's not stocks mastery. It's not crypto mastery. It's investment mastery. But that's not also just money. It's investing also in the most important asset of your life, and that is you.
Mm.
And you invest from a child. You invest in school. You're investing in, people go to university. They take extra courses to become specialists in this, that, and the other. They invest their time, their energy, their passion, blood, sweat, and tears. All of these things come under the same umbrella of investment mastery for me, and this is how I see it. It's massively important. If you stop investing in yourself, you either plateau or the world goes so fast past you, you just dip and you become a lesser person, I believe.
That's really interesting, your point of view. I agree with it, but don't you think that most people, the average person out there, probably thinks at the age of 16, 17, 18, I am done with school. I am done. All I do is sit here, probably, with a tie or something, and I want to get out of here. And why do these people keep talking to me and they don't know anything? They're not wealthy. I want to get out there, get a job and earn money. And why? So I can spend the money. Basically what you were doing, right? Don't you think isn't that more normal to think that way?
It is normal. However, they might not be in education anymore. They're still in a school of life, and the school of life will continually teach them things. They'll take a job. They'll learn how to a trade. They'll be learning still. They'll meet people from places they've never been. They'll learn about new cultures. You don't stop learning in this life. And I think you'd be amiss to think that it just ends there.
Do you know what I just thought when you said that? I thought, so what you were saying, you always learn something, but it's thrust upon you, and it's not always good, or you do it purposefully, which is what you're doing. You actually choose. You go, I want to learn that.
Yeah, you put the direction.
You did that in your job as well, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Pick a career path. Hopefully we pick it. Anyway, it's been a non-stop education, my life. I think it is for most people.
I think so as well. You might not want to think about it all the time, but that's true, right? If you can think about it and improve. And for me, it's all about growth. I just love that word. I think it's wonderful. So Tom, if you could share one tip, just one tip with our viewers who are just starting their investing journey, what might that tip be?
Turn up. At the beginning, the difficult part is finding time for this. It's committing yourself to it. It's when you're not seeing the results yet, but if you turn up on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you do your however long it takes you to do what you've been directed to do by your teacher. You know, it could be 10 minutes, it could be 20 minutes, it could be an hour, depending what you want to do. If you do that every single day, you will compound your learning astronomically. Exactly. It works with anything. And turning up will stop being a hindrance. It'll stop being a pain. It'll be something that you're excited to do. The markets will close at the end of the day and you'll be like, onto the computer. Nice. Ready to go again. Turn up. And that's how you will see your growth.
I love that. Just turn up, but keep turning up.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, there you have it. Tom's journey to making over 25% profit through investing. So, what's the biggest takeaway from this interview? Share your thoughts below.